Alright, I'll be the first to admit it. Designing a clean Shopify store can be pretty damn difficult sometimes, especially when you have no design background and no one to give you proper feedback. So in today's video, what I want to do is share with you one of my new favorite Shopify store designs that I've seen. So we'll first break down some of the reasons why their store design is so clean. Then we'll take a look at some of their branding and social media to see how they're building a community and if it's congruent with the branding on the store. And then third, we'll take a look at some of their ads to see if they are also branded just like the store and if they're congruent, and just in general to see how they're driving a lot of traffic to their store. So with that said, let's hop right into the internet. Oh baby, and here it is. So the store is simply called Mod Cat. So the first thing that stands out is right away we can see that it's a litter box brand. So there's not any crazy stuff that they talk about. It's basically just Mod Cat litter box, litter free floors. It's a beautiful thing. That's actually an amazing headline. So short and clean and concise. But if you have a cat, that will speak right away to you. Like, you'll know exactly that they're talking to you when creating this headline, because that's a big issue with litter boxes, is that, you know, cats sometimes when they go potty and they bury their stuff, a lot of times they can get litter all over the place, and you know, you have to clean it up unless you're dirty. And the second thing that stands out to me is their other headline when you scroll down a little bit further, which just says, where modern cats do their business, simple plus stylish cat litter box solutions that will have you and kitty purring. I think that's just absolutely genius. They couldn't have said that better. And you know, a lot of people would have a whole paragraph here talking about their litter box, but this really just says everything you need to know. So that's the second thing that stands out, is just the fact that they have extremely clean headlines, and they've definitely put a lot of work into that. As you can see, like the second one is just Scratch and Chill. Our new Scratcher Lounge is a great place for your cat to scratch, play, and sleep. Carbon paw print. Every time you purchase an item on ModCat, we balance out the carbon emissions by creating positive environmental impact. That's awesome. So they're really appealing to the modern consumer. I mean, these are the things that modern consumers are looking for, especially when they're shopping online. I mean, if they can buy from a brand like this that they know is actually trying to help the world, this is just added value basically. And one thing that's kind of sneaky that I just realized is that they don't show any sort of prices or anything right now on the homepage. It's just explaining the brand, and really these clean explanations are all you really need to know in order to make a purchasing decision. I mean, I want to buy this already. And then they have this tab here that just says everything cat. Our per blog is the ultimate guide to your cat's health and happiness. So that's the third thing I'm picking up, is that they really do care about their community, and they definitely want to make sure that the people that shop here are well informed and are definitely passionate about cats. Now, the fourth thing that stands out on their website to me is the fact that they're really just letting the pictures carry the store. Like, they have incredible product imagery and branding, and you know, that's why they don't need to say much. Like, the pictures say more than text would. Have you ever heard of the phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words? This is kind of a perfect example of that. They don't have 1,000 words on this home page, but they have some pictures that allow you to get a really great idea of what the brand is all about. I just think that's amazing. So the fourth thing I'm noting down is just the importance of great product images and just images in general on your website. It really gives off a really cool vibe. Now, the fifth thing that I want to note down real quick here is their logo. So I feel like a lot of people, especially people who are just starting to build Shopify e-commerce websites, they overthink the logo, and they think, you know, you need an insane logo and you need to get a $600 logo design right away. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that if you really want to invest in your brand. I've done that many times, but I think just finding a really clean font that you can create a logo out of is probably a better idea to start with. Something as simple as this, I mean, I'm sure this actually required a lot of investing and, you know, multiple design iterations and stuff, but ultimately it's just a simple font. So anyone could do that. So now let's move on to their product page. And the first thing on the product page that I'm picking up right away is the fact that they don't have a long paragraph. So a lot of people, especially in the dropshipping space, they'll add a ton of paragraphs talking about their products, and I understand why. But honestly, when you have something like this, it just makes me believe that the product is much higher quality and that they're really confident in what they're selling, which is super cool. So they don't have any sort of paragraph here. It's just straight up up benefits, top entry litter box, reduces litter tracking, swivel lid for easy access. And then, they just continue to talk about benefits as opposed to having a ton of paragraphs right away. They do dive into a more informational type of format here, but when you go down further, which makes sense, as you scroll down, people do want to get a better idea of the product, but even then it's still so clean and doesn't really sell you too hard. So I can tell that they've worked really hard on cleaning up their design, and I mean, that's such a hard thing to do. Like, getting rid of things is actually so important and difficult. That's one of the things I've really thought about this year. And I love that they link their Instagram here and show some Instagram pictures of cats using the litter box. And then obviously they got the reviews, which is just super clean. I actually love that headline, where modern cats do their business. That's a genius headline. The second thing that we're gonna do here is take a look at their social media pages, see how they're branding them, and just see what we can pick up from there. So on Twitter, not really much to say. I'll go through these kind of quickly. Not really anything noteworthy. They're just consistently posting, but they're not getting a ton of engagement, but I guess it's still good SEO for your website. On Instagram, however, they are doing a lot better, and they're actually applying a lot of different little meme marketing tactics. As you can see here, this post from 18 hours ago has a lot of engagement, and it says, everyone thinks that their cat is the cutest cat in the world, and you're all actually correct. So just a little meme here, not too funny, but people who are really into cats are gonna be like, wow, that speaks directly to me. And again, their product imagery is just amazing, but clearly you can see that the memes that they post are the ones that get the most engagement. And this is what I've been telling you guys recently, like, memes are just awesome and people just love relatability. I don't think people care so much anymore about insanely highly produced content. I think people just want to relate more. I would love to know your opinion about that though, like especially when it comes to YouTube. I've been simplifying my YouTube videos a little bit and just stripping away all the things that I find unnecessary, and my channel's been doing quite well recently. So I think maybe it kind of reinforces that idea that ultimately high quality doesn't necessarily just mean overproduced. It just means having everything that you need and nothing that you don't. But I don't know, I'm still experimenting here. Now the third social media here is their Pinterest, which is actually popping off. So they have 1.3 monthly views on their Pinterest page, and they're just going off on here. I'm guessing that they're linking a lot of these pins to their blog and their website overall, which is genius. That's such a good SEO tactic, and that's why I'm a big fan of the fact that they have a blog specifically catered to cat owners. I think that's really smart, and I mean, it's just a great way to let your community know that you actually care about them and that you're not here just to make money, like you're trying to provide a value for them. And on Pinterest, they've branded everything beautifully, so that's awesome. And then lastly, on Facebook, they're doing pretty good. They're posting consistently, just like on their other social medias. They're very consistent at everything they do, but not too much engagement on Facebook, which is not surprising. Facebook kind of sucks when it comes to engagement. So the third thing here we're gonna do is take a look at some of their ads and see how they compare to their overall design. And right away I can tell that it's congruent with everything else. I mean, I'm actually not surprised. This brand clearly knows a thing or two about congruent design. And I love this headline, where modern cats do their business. That's such a clean headline, and it really speaks to cat owners. And then here's another ad: simple but stylish cat litter box solutions that will have you and kitty purring. So a very high quality ad here. It just looks like a commercial. I will say though, like, even though this is an amazing ad, right, like super high quality, I think for a product like this, just having some simple TikTok style, like TikTok trend style video would work really, really well. And this is kind of what I'm saying, is like, maybe it's worth it to test out less produced content, especially for a brand like this. Maybe, I don't know if they're testing it out or not. I mean, this brand is actually getting over 250,000 monthly visitors, which is a pretty ridiculous amount of visitors, especially with their average order value. I'm pretty confident that this is an underestimation and that they're at least generating 500,000 plus per month in revenue, which would be over 5 million a year, which is honestly goals. My goal is to get to 3 million a year with my brand. I think it's actually pretty achievable. I mean, it's just hard to set up a great foundation, but I have a really strong feeling that now that my foundations are set up really properly, we're really going to be able to push things to the next level. Now here we have clearly what's a retargeting ad for their brand. So it's like a testimonial here, which is awesome. It looks super clean. and then a couple carousels with a clean headline where modern cats do their business again. So they're doing really, really clean marketing. Litter-free floors, it's a beautiful thing. I can tell that they probably have an in-house team for their ads. Like, they probably don't use an agency. And the reason I say that is because I find that a lot of agency nowadays do a lot of weird kind of marketing, like marketing that to me feels really outdated just to get more clicks and stuff like that, especially after iOS. But I just feel like that devalues your brand so much, and I don't think it's worth it personally. But with that said, that wraps up this e-commerce brand case study. I really consider building Shopify stores as like an art, and when I look at brands like this, it really does make me inspired to just make my brands really clean and congruent. And again, some of the most iconic art pieces of all time, like the Mona Lisa, for example, is quite simple. It's actually not like an extremely complex piece of art, yet it's still one of the most recognizable pieces of art of all time. And that's a weird analogy for Shopify stores, obviously, but my point is that simple oftentimes is better, but it is really difficult to create simple but effective design. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I'm also making investing videos nowadays mixed in there, so I'm adding some variety to the channel. Everybody's welcome here. I am pulling back the quantity of content that I'm producing now. I'm gonna try to do 2 to 3 videos a week now instead of a video every day. I'm actually glad that I tried that out. It was a great challenge and experiment. However, now that it's Q4, I really want to spend more time on my brands and taking things to the next level. But I don't want to quit YouTube. I mean, this gives me so much meaning, and I absolutely love passing down some of the information that I learned. But making a video every day kind of prevents me from acting on a lot of the things that I learned. So now I'm simply cutting back. I appreciate every single one of you that watched all of my videos. You know, you watching a video every single day of mine really does mean so much to me. So I don't want you to think that I'll ever take that for granted. But yeah, now I'm cutting back a little bit, and that's it. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.